Hi guys, welcome back. I'm for Towers Films.
Doug 218. Welcome back, dude.
Welcome back. We are recapping and commentary of the new season of Survivor Winners at War
Episode
2.
2.
Sorry we missed the first one.
Wow. Okay, let's talk about what's changed. Now,
Things have changed. It's all winners.
you know,
It's 20 of them.
and to think that this show was around way before even the first iPhone was invented.
Well, see, this is its 40th season. So they really wanted to go big. The
Oh,
show's been on 20 years, and they showed clips from that first season. Richard Hatch isn't on it, so season 1 is about, well, there's actually a few seasons that aren't actually represented,
yes.
like including Island of the Idols, which just finished around Christmas time, and so no winner from that one either. There's a few that don't have winners, but there's a good mix of the old school. So the earliest one is Australia, I believe, which is Amber. Amber is there, and then Africa with Ethan. So season 2 and 3 are there, and then like you've got periodic ones throughout. So you've got like
Yeah, it's a good palette of, like you said, of old and new.
you've got like the winner of Cook Islands. You've got the winner, I think, of Pearl Islands. Heroes versus Hustlers versus I forget what Heroes versus Hustlers versus
Healers.
I said healers. Healers versus Hustlers. I forget the last one. If you know what it is, remember it down. But it's from like so old school to new school. It's a real mix.
So it's an interesting dynamic to see the difference in gameplay, like how.
And actually, there's several of them. Several of them have played more than once, including Rob, Amber, and Cassandra, but others as well.
And yes, this two-time winner is back.
The queen is back, Sandra.
And
but yeah, it's a good mix of gameplay.
It's a good mix of gameplay, and at certain points you think, okay, like the old schoolers might get left behind because like the game has changed so much.
Yeah.
And the dynamic it's more fluid and it's more quick.
Well, see, even like Amber was saying, it's been 16 years since she played it last. Now it's All Stars, and then the first time she played was Australia, which is 20 years ago, which is like second season. So she's like right now not the oldest player, but the oldest winner, kind of thing. She was on second seasons, considering season 1's not represented. So, so, and like she was even saying, it's really changed. There was no idols. There was no,
it was straight hustling.
There was no rewards, that kind of thing. There was no advantages, kind of thing. So it's all different now. It was purely strategy back then. So, so a lot has changed since then. So, Edge of Extinction has returned.
And the newest thing to come into this season is the fire token.
Yes.
Survivor currency.
Yes, they all get one.
And now if you get the rule is if you get voted off and sent to Edge of Extinction, you have to will your coin to whomever
on either tribe
that you choose to.
Right.
And now there's like a price list. They've all seen that so many fire tokens can buy you this. On Edge of Extinction.
I don't know if the ones out of the tribes know that they're a currency yet. I thought
they did.
Maybe, I don't remember.
I think they did see it because
then they did on Edge of Extinction though.
But then they got to realize, okay, well, with so many fire tokens, we can get this.
They can get hammocks.
I don't think they know that the tribes themselves don't know that you can buy an advantage or whatever.
So, I don't. Maybe you guys remember. I don't remember the actual tribe seeing that. I think they said they could be advantages and things like that they could use their tokens for.
Because I think Tony saw it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I guess. But on Edge of Extinction, like for example, Natalie found a hidden immunity idol. It's also changed. They actually can do other things besides, wait until they can get back into the game. They actually can earn currency, like fire tokens. So Natalie actually earned one because she found a hidden immunity idol. She was one of the first ones out last week.
It
And
was a
which
two.
we'll talk about, which is kind of interesting. Was she really the best choice? Really, the two that have already been voted out from last two episodes, like the last episode. I'm not really sure they were really the best choice because there's better choices.
Oh,
So anyway,
of
Natalie
course.
was voted out last week. In case you missed it, she was on the call, I believe, and so she found a hidden immunity on edge of extinction, and so it says she could trade that for a fire token. She could offer it, so it's like defying it to anybody on any tribe. So she actually gave it to Sandra. Don't ask me why. I don't know, but anyway, that's not the one I would have given it to. But and so Sandra bought it, of course. So she knows she's a big target, and now Natalie got a fire token. Now she has two. She had one. She has two because this episode, Amber and her, there was a note. Amber was the second one voted out from last week.
Ooh, and Boston Rob was not happy.
So, well, I think he didn't. He suspected. Now they're on separate tribes. This is the other tribe, Saleh, that Saleh and Dekal. They're on separate tribes, so they both lost one. So, now they both lost a member. So, Amber and Natalie had like a challenge, and now they know nothing. If you see like signs or whatever, it means something. So they saw a sign, and so they're figuring out what's it means. They're searching all over the place. They're looking for. They don't know what they're looking for, and so Natalie figures it out. The one place Amber didn't look, down the water well, and so she picks it up, and of course there's an advantage for obviously one of the tribes. Give to anybody, and it's basic, and for a fire token. So, what was the advantage again? It's a good advantage too.
That they can leave.
Right.
They can leave if they
If their tribe lost.
If their tribe lost, whoever she gave it to, can leave tribal council. And once they leave tribal council, they cannot be voted out.
But they also can't vote.
But
so they're safe. It's like an immunity.
Yeah.
If especially if they think they're in trouble, they could actually leave tribal council and they can't be voted out. So she gave that to Jeremy, which I thought would have been interesting. Because they're actually pretty close. They've known each other a while.
They played together.
They played before.
So
actually, a few of them have played before.
That's kind of why Rob kind of got,
Well, yeah. This is what we'll kind of talk about. Why some of them, it's kind of interesting that who they pick. Like, for example, I kind of understand Amber because of the Rob connection.
Yeah.
Because he's a dangerous player. Natalie actually was a competition beast.
Oh.
But she's on the same tribe as Rob and Parvati. And she was your best bet to vote out. I don't know about that. So Rob and Parvati have actually formed an alliance. They're like number 1 and 2. And they've kind of formed like almost like this old school kind of alliance thing.
Yeah, they kind of did the whole Mia Culpa thing. I'm sorry. I tried to get you out.
Yeah. So, yeah. Have Rob and Parvati played together before?
All Stars,
yeah. So, which Amber won. But, so it's like Rob, Parvati, Danny, Ethan, somebody else, I think. That was in that. It's like an old school. They played it pretty much before all the idols started showing up. Although Rob has played, I think, since an idol been there. So did Parvati, but their first time was before that.
And I think Yule.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yule, yeah. I think he's part of it too. So that's what doesn't make sense. Why would you go after Natalie instead of Parvati or Rob? Who are two of the most dangerous players in this game.
And they even commented on that.
Well, yeah, they were surprised her name wasn't even brought up at all. And actually, so were we. But, it's the same thing with on the other tribe to call is when they went after Amber. There's Sandra sitting right there. She's the only 2-time winner, and she came this close to winning it a 3rd time. And you go for Amber instead?
Yeah. I
don't know about that.
To me, I don't know. To me, that kind of seems like a screw you kind of move to Rob. You know?
Although, was it Sandra's idea? She didn't vote against it, but was it really her? I don't remember it being her idea, but she had a hand in it because a lot of them listened to what she has to say. I mean, look, Natalie gave her the immunity idol, and she ended up giving Jeremy the advantage, which made more sense because they've actually played together before and they have an alliance, so it never really made sense when she gave it to Sandra. But it is what it is, I guess. So with this one, Rob wasn't too happy, so they're on opposite tribes. They can't go after Sandra right now directly. They're not until the merge. They both make it to the merge.
But I remember saying, and like I said to her, like, look at the stink eye he threw her.
Sure, because he knows she had a hand. Really, if Sandra wanted to, she probably could have protected Amber or have convinced. She can convince people to go another way, and she did. She knows really it's for her. It's better for her game, right? And because Sandra might have been upset that Rob didn't tell her he was playing this time when they were on Island of the Idols for 39 days the previous season.
You didn't tell him.
Well, we don't know. Like, we don't know if we were even allowed to tell anybody. So.
I wouldn't think so because it's.
Well, yeah.
Like we thought, we talked about it. It's almost like a breach of confidentiality. You can't.
Yeah.
Like they can't tell their families.
They can't tell their families until they're ready to go.
Yeah.
Like even when they're voted out, they don't go home. They say they go home, but they go to Ponderosa because they don't want anybody to know who got to the final 2 or 3.
Exactly.
So and even when they go home, they can't tell anybody because they could get sued.
Yeah, because it's a breach of, like we said, a breach of contract.
But I think it's more of it builds drama. Yeah. So you didn't say anything. Well, you probably can't. You know that very well. So you played it 3 times. So, or if not 4, 3 times. This is your 4th time. So,
Well, it almost looks like it's kind of they're kind of painting her like the villain. Like you just
kind of is a villain. When she played Heroes vs. Villains, she was on the villain side.
But like, oh, you didn't tell me, so I'm not going to directly go after your wife, but I'm just going to kind of nudge them that way.
Did she? But he knows the gameplay. Rob's not stupid.
And that's why, like, he threw her some serious stink.
Yeah.
And Rob's tried blew it at the
well, yeah, but with the immunity challenge, it was also a reward, I believe. They got spices, which is always welcome. And what's interesting, actually something else, they don't get rice. You know how other times when they get rice, they don't get rice. When they went back to they had to build their camps. It's harder this year. They don't get. That's like the first season. They had to earn everything on the first season.
Or you had to learn to forage and like on.
They had to earn it. I believe on the first season they didn't get any of that. So like Amber, she knows from 20 years ago.
And
so when they went to the immunity challenge again, like they started out in the water and they had like this thing they had to get over.
It was an obstacle course. But it was like a boat.
Yeah.
That they had to disassemble, get it over.
Yeah, and
reassemble
everybody else over. Yeah.
And so
they get to land the puzzle pieces.
And it was a 3-dimensional puzzle, which was round, but it was 2-sided, so they had to be able to match it up. And Rob just blanked.
Well, part of it is the strategy's weird. It was Rob and Denise on Sele and
Sandra and
I can't remember who on Tikal, but they were just blowing through because they were doing it like normal people do, taking the putt and finding where it fit. Rob took so long, and it was all him organizing the pieces into like piles while they were building their actual puzzle. So then by the time they got to building the puzzle, they were really far behind, and they couldn't find the pieces that fit each area. So it was like a blowout. It was ridiculous how far behind they've got. So they obviously went to tribal council. Danny, I can't remember what her initial, what she played initially, what she won, but she was trying to figure out. She thinks she's behind. She thought that last week too because they don't talk to her all the time. She did make friends with Parvati, and she did talk to Parvati. But if you've ever watched enough, you know how Parvati is. She kind of flips around to everybody. She'll pick usually one as her main, and that's primarily because she talks, and it's Rob this time. And then she'll kind of flit around. Doesn't mean she's against you, at least right away. She knows she needs numbers at this point.
She's keeping her options open.
Right. Hence, kind of how she's always played it. Yeah. Although this time she's not flirting, she's married, but.
And she got kids.
So, and that's hence why Rob and Parvati actually bonded because they both have kids and they're both married and stuff. So, but she seems to think she's on the bottom, although I don't remember them really throwing her name out at all. So, but she's kind of gotten paranoid already and thinking that, she's the target because nobody's really talking to her. So she's, kind of trying to get in here and there.
And she kind of blew out that whole old school alliance.
To Ben, I believe.
Yeah.
Who was one of the ones, I think in Heroes versus Hustlers versus
I think so.
Something else. Like, I cannot remember what that one is. Heroes versus Hustlers versus something else.
Again, if you guys remember,
please
put it down below.
I'll have to look that up, but I can't remember the last blank. But anyway, and they suspected there was one, but they always no, there isn't. But right in front of Ethan and him, she's like, because I asked, have you talked to Parvati and talked to Rob?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh yeah, but the whole old school versus new school. So Jeremy's like, or Ben's like, what? So yeah, I knew. And they're like, no, trying to play it off. Like, no, it's not what I said.
It's already been blown out.
Not what I said, kind of thing. So, because initially she was not the target. I don't remember who was going to be their target, but it wasn't going to be her. I think they wanted to go after someone on the new school. But because of that, she became target number one. She didn't trust her anymore, and because she wanted to vote out Parvati, and of course they ran back and told Parvati that. So obviously she becomes target number one. In the meantime, Denise found on this tribe the new kid immunity idol.
Yeah.
And I believe Ben helped her find it. There's two of them. If you guys remember in one other previous season, it was similar. You had to have both halves to make the whole.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same idea. So Denise is the one who found it on Sele. And there's a mirrored one on Dakal. And I forget, it's another female who found it. Forget what her name is.
If you guys know.
Oh my goodness. If you guys know, let us know. Below. I can't remember her name, but she ended up probably telling the wrong people she had it anyway. The one from Millennials versus Gen X, the winner from there. Shows you how long ago it is. Old age does that to your brain. But anyway. Anyway. So Denise has it, and she told, I think it's Alex, his name is, on their tribe, and also Ben knows about it. So, but she still has both. They had to give it by sundown that day, so I think she might have given it to Alex. The other half she didn't give to Ben. I know that much.
Yeah.
So anyway, they go to tribal council. And I mean, it's really kind of no surprise. They really didn't hide it. The fact that they voted out Danny, although Parvati did get a couple votes.
Yeah, but the best scene I loved was when Rob's like, "Okay, let's empty out our bags."
Oh yes, because they're like saying somebody's got the kid immunity idol, so they made them all. I think it was Rob made them all put their bags.
And Jeff's like, in 40 seasons of this show,
never happened.
This has never happened at Tribal.
Yet Denise does have it, and it's interesting how she was able to hide it. That was wicked.
Where did she hide that?
Well, I think she had it. They have these big blue bags. First time I've seen that too. They have big blue bags, like messenger type bags, but they're huge that they brought with them. What it looked like she did is she opened it up and took out whatever was wrapped and kind of hid it, and then flipped over the flap and had it underneath the flap and showed them the bag that way.
That was
And
fun.
because everybody else was taking out their stuff, nobody saw her do that. And then it looked like she put it back in. As she was putting her stuff back in, she kind of hit it
So she
with
palmed
other
it.
stuff and palmed it and put it back in. It was like, wow, that was
Sleight of
slick. Nobody knew she had it. So, and so far nobody else has one. So, but anyway, so Danny got voted out. She's going to Island Edge of Extinction, and she's informing both Amber and Natalie all that she knows of what's happened there. I don't know, it just blows my mind that so far, really, Sandra, Rob, and Parvati have not really passed anybody's lips for eviction, although except, but not eviction, being voted out, except Danny, they got her voted out. I mean, why are people so afraid of these three? Get them out now while you can.
Well, you still have the bodies to get them out.
I mean, you're talking about a two-time winner. Came that close to winning a third time.
Exactly.
Rob is very good. He won once and came close a couple times. And Parvati has done the same thing. And yet you keep them. Really? Is that really good gameplay?
No.
I don't think so.
So, we're 3 episodes.
It's the second episode. And
Two
well,
episodes.
technically it was 2 hours, I think, last week.
So we're a couple episodes in, and they came off hard and fast right out the gun,
All winners.
all winners. So it'll be interesting to see as subsequent
season.
episodes go on in the season
Yeah.
how the gameplay is going to change, who's going to be able to shift that balance.
Well, let's face it. I mean, if any of them really want to win, they're going to have to get to the top 3. They're going to have to, because the three of them are very good at burrowing in and staying there.
And
So
Sandra's
that's
already-
who gotta go. Oh, sure.
She's
Nobody even brought her name up.
and she's already positioning people in front of her,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
And so is Parvati and Rob.
So
That's how they do it, and they're already doing it.
and if you don't move quick,
They'll
you're gonna,
make it to the end again.
you're gonna
And
be
then it'll be a three for those 3. And then, who will win from them. But we'll see. Still a lot of game left. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for joining us, and welcome back to watching Survivor with us. And hope you stick around for the whole season. It's going to be an interesting one.
Oh yeah.
So if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when we upload every time Survivor airs. And we will see you next week.
Bye guys.
Bye, guys.